Hi, my name is Brent Meyer. I'm the Lancaster County Noxious Weed Superintendent in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're here today with a patch of Musk Thistle and trying to do a little education on that. Part of my responsibilities as the weed superintendent is to enforce this noxious weed on private land and public land in the state of Nebraska, but also to educate the public on that. So that's what we're wanting to do here today, is to help educate you on why it's important to chop down one or two Musk Thistle when you see them on your place, so it doesn't become this problem here that you're seeing here before you today. This is Musk Thistle, and this is a non-native plant in Nebraska. It came in from Eurasia. It's been on our noxious weed list in Nebraska since 1962, and this is a perfect example of why you do not want this to get out of control on your property. If this is your pasture, your cattle are not going to eat this, your horses are not going to go into this area, and you're going to lose this valuable resource in your grass. So you want to control them when you see one or two plants, and make sure you dispose of the heads properly. And it's pretty easy to eradicate. It's a biennial plant, so it's going to come up in the fall. There's going to be a little rosette, and then it's going to grow into this by May and June of the next year. So the fall is the ideal time to control it, when it's just in a little rosette stage. You can go out and chemical treat or dig them up, and you won't have this problem in the next season. And the important thing to control each individual plant is one of these mature plants on a healthy plant can produce anywhere between 10 and 20,000 viable seed. So you can see how fast and destructive just letting one plant go on the roadside or on your property can be, because that seed is going to be produced and you're going to have a lot more plants to deal with the next year. Okay, so here what we wanted to show you is we dug up one of the plants, and Musk Thistle is just a tap-rooted plant. It's a biennial plant that has to reproduce by seed. Some of our noxious weeds are perennial plants, and they've got an extensive root system down below the soil that it's going to come back from the roots every year. But if Musk Thistle has one weakness, it's that it has to come back from seed every year. So you can dig it up. It's a pretty easy plant to control, but you have to be persistent with it because of the amount of seeds it produces. All right, so we've bagged up the seed heads here today. Once you're all done with your plant, if you live inside city limits or somewhere where it's not an option for you to burn these seed heads, then what we would like you to do is to bag them in a heavy black plastic bag and double bag those, and you can send those to the landfill and we'll bury them there. So if burning's not an option, there is still an option to dispose of these properly, and that's just send them to your landfill. But we would ask that you bag it up and seal it with tape so the seed doesn't spread all the way to the landfill. So as a landowner in Nebraska and a lot of neighboring states and states across the United States, as a landowner, you're required to control noxious weeds on your property. By state law, it's your responsibility on any land you own or land you control to control all the noxious weeds on your property. And the reason they're noxious is, like we've seen here today, how rapidly these plants will spread onto your neighbor's properties, or vice versa from their properties to yours. So again, it's the landowner's responsibility. If you have a tenant on that property, it's between you and the tenant, but at the end of the day, it's the landowner's responsibility. This can be done. We also have two ways of enforcement, and we have the county can come out and actually enforce on these plants if you don't do it, or you could end up with a $1,500 fine if you do not control the plants. All right, thanks for joining us today here. I hope you've learned a little bit on how to control one of our noxious weeds in the state of Nebraska. If you would like more information on control options on how to get rid of Musk Thistle or any noxious weed, contact your local county weed superintendent, or you can contact me directly. My name is Brent Meyer at Lancaster County Weed Department. Our phone number is 402-441-7817, or you can just email us at weeds@lancaster.ne.gov, and we'll be glad to help you out.